Hooray for Hollywood. There's no crying in baseball. Oh, hello there. I am Stan the Movie Man, and this is my review of Brahms, The Boy 2. It stars Katie Holmes, Owen Yeoman, Christopher Convery, Ralph Ineson, and more. Ineson. It is a sequel to The Boy from 2016. And it follows a family that lives in London, a suburb of London, and they are threatened and beat up during a home invasion. Also, this has a lingering effect on Liza, played by Katie Holmes, and her son Jude, played by Christopher Convery. Jude has stopped speaking, and their therapist, Dr. Lawrence, played by Angela J., says, why don't you try to take a break and get some, distance from this event? So Liza Jude and Liza's husband, Sean, played by Owen Yeoman, go out and rent a place in the country. It is a guest house for a much larger and older estate, which is the location where the first movie took place. One day, as Jude is out in the woods with his parents, he hears something calling to him, and he goes and he finds the hand of a porcelain doll sticking up, and he digs up the doll and decides he wants to keep it. He communicates by writing on a pad of paper, and he eventually tells Liza and Sean that the doll's name is Brahms, because that's what the doll told him. And things get kind of weird. They bump into a guy named Joseph out in the woods, played by Ralph Ineson, and he identifies himself as sort of a groundskeeper, caretaker for the larger property, and he has this dog that does not like Brahms at all, and because it doesn't like Brahms, Jude doesn't like the dog either. There are various weird things that take place in the house. The doll turns its head on a couple of occasions, moves its eyes from one side to the other, and boy, this movie is boring. Not much happens, and when it does, it's stuff that you probably saw in the trailer. Yeah, this movie's just not good. And it takes what happens in the first film, which, by the way, I should say up front, I haven't seen, but I did go to Wikipedia and read the plot synopsis. And if that's anywhere close to what actually happened in that movie, that was a far superior film to the sequel, which was directed and written by the same people. It's like they ran out of ideas. They were just, what usually happens in a horror sequel is you tell the same story again, just in a different location with different people, or just with very minor changes, but there are significant changes to what's happening in this sequel. And the movie tends not to follow its own rules, because you think what happened in the first film is what's happening in this film, but it turns out it wasn't what we were told in the first film. Again, I'm assuming the Wikipedia description is correct, that it was something darker and more evil. And then at the end of this film, they change the rules again, and that it isn't what we thought it was something else. And while some people might say, oh, well, they're just throwing out the rule book, and they're just creating new venues for further sequels. And you would be right, but in this instance, it doesn't make sense within the world, and it feels more like an effort to do an easy cash grab. And this film is painfully boring. While it only runs 90 minutes, and maybe actually less than that, and that includes the credits, it is just a slog the whole time. It uses the very basic horror movie tropes, but it doesn't really do much with them. I just thought of something. I think I've died and gone to purgatory, and I'm going to spend eternity watching crappy movies. No, that can't be. I'm going to have to ponder this a little bit. Anyway, Brahms' The Boy 2 is not very good, is not very interesting, is not scary at all, and is not worth your time and money. And that's why I'm giving Brahms' The Boy 2 1 star. Go to StanTheMovieMan.com to read my complete review of Brahms' The Boy 2. Please listen to my podcast that I do with my wife. It is called Comedy, Tragedy, Marriage. It is about life, love, and entertainment, and you can find that wherever you get your podcasts. Follow me on Twitter at MovieManStan. And if you would like to say something more than 280 characters, you can send me an email. I know, how 20th century. The email address is stanthemovieman123@gmail.com. Until next time, later.